I sat alone in the dimly lit cafe, my heart pounding in my chest as I clutched my latte with shaking hands. The fear and disbelief that had been gnawing at me for weeks now bubbled to the surface, threatening to consume me entirely. It all started a few weeks ago when I had landed a job at the Starbucks on the corner of 5th and Main. It seemed like a dream come true at the time, a steady paycheck, flexible hours, and all the free coffee I could ever want. But as the days went on, I began to notice something strange about the place. It started with little things, like the way the employees all seemed to avoid looking directly at me, or the strange whispers I caught wind of when I walked past the stockroom. But then it escalated to the point where I couldn't ignore it any longer. One night, as I was closing up the cafe all alone, I heard a loud crash coming from the back room. My heart leapt into my throat as I cautiously made my way towards the source of the sound. What I saw there will haunt me for the rest of my days. Lying on the floor was a man, or what used to be a man. His eyes were wide with terror, his body contorted in an unnatural position. And worst of all, his skin was peeling away to reveal something dark and twisted beneath. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. This couldn't be real. It had to be some kind of sick joke, a twisted prank by my co-workers. But as I reached out to touch the man's cold, clammy skin, I knew in my heart that this was no act. I struggled to keep the fear at bay as I called the police, my hands shaking so badly that I could barely dial the numbers. The minutes dragged on like hours as I waited for them to arrive, the silence of the cafe oppressive in the wake of the horror I had just witnessed. When the police finally arrived, they questioned me tirelessly about what I had seen. But no matter how many times I recounted the events of that night, they seemed unable or unwilling to believe me. As the days turned into weeks, I found myself consumed by a fear unlike anything I had ever known. The Starbucks on 5th and Main became a place of terror for me, the very sight of it sending shivers down my spine. And yet, despite my overwhelming terror, I couldn't shake the feeling that there was something more going on at that cafe. I couldn't ignore the ache of curiosity that burned within me, driving me to return to the scene of my nightmares time and time again. And with each visit, the sense of impending dread only grew stronger. One night, as I sat alone in the cafe once again, staring into the depths of my latte as if it held the answers to all my questions, the door chimed open, and in walked a figure that froze me to my very core. It was the man I had found in the back room that fateful night, his skin still peeling away in patches to reveal the darkness beneath. But his eyes bore into mine with an intensity that filled me with a terror unlike anything I had ever known. "Why are you here?" he hissed, his voice like gravel in my ears. "What do you want from us?" I was paralyzed with fear, unable to form a coherent response. But as the man drew closer, his breath hot on my neck, I knew that I had to face my fears head-on if I ever wanted to uncover the truth behind the horrors of Starbucks on 5th and Main. And so, with a trembling voice, I forced out the words that had been burning within me since that fateful night. "What are you?" If you enjoyed this story of horror, please share, and follow me for more chilling tales that will keep you on the edge of your seat. I promise to deliver more spine-tingling narratives that will leave you wanting more. Thank you for your support. Stay tuned for the next terrifying story.